feel really bad having to talk about this again. More technology. Why do people keep buying microphones? Why do people keep buying new software? Well, I don't understand it. That's not going to make your podcast better. That is what I'm going to have a little bit of a rant about today here on Le Podcast Accelerator. That's French, of course, for the Podcast Accelerator. Of course it is. That's definitely 100% accurate French. I'm your host, Mark Asquith. That's English. The host of the Podcast Accelerator, the CEO and co-founder of Rebel Base Media, and of course that British podcast guy. Now, we are going to dig into why you don't need more tech for your podcast, and in particular what you do need to focus on. We're going to do that in just 1 second. But before I do that, just a quick reminder that AWeber are giving you 90 days totally free to try their email marketing platform as a way of interacting and engaging with your podcast listenership. If you're not doing that, I believe you are leaving money and you're leaving engagement and you're leaving new listeners on the table, all right? Please go and check them out for 90 days totally free at markasquith.com/AWeber. And if you're looking for a podcast host, if you're looking to shift over from something that looks a little antiquated, something where maybe the support staff make you feel a little silly every time you ask a question, jump over from your current host into Captivate.fm. Not only are we a massively forward-thinking podcast hosting company, but we've got an interface that doesn't make you sweat, all right? It's very, very simple, very, very easy, and the analytics and everything that we provide are absolutely world-class. So please go and check that out for 7 days at Captivate.fm. Now, I bloody love Star Wars, and I bloody love DC Comics. I'm so excited for, number one, The Rise of Skywalker, of course, but number two, massively excited for Crisis on Infinite Earths. I've been predicting that the CW TV would do Crisis on Infinite Earths and bring back the old movie stars, the old TV stars. Been predicting this for 10 years since Smallville finished, and they are finally doing it this year. And honestly, I'm absolutely elated by it. I'm delighted by it. In fact, I love stuff like this so much. I love reading so much that I'd rather do that than watch TV any day of the week. And I regularly do on a night time. I'll just read a book, okay? It got me thinking because I'm starting to see it again. I'm starting to see people wondering how to grow their show by buying a new mic and buying new software and buying these all-in-one amazing podcaster things that you just see that include everything. It's just not going to cut it. And the frustrating thing is that all people want to do is understand how to grow their show, all right? So it got me thinking that people, as podcasters, are often being taught to spin up shows without too much thought. I know so many quote-unquote entrepreneurs that have created a show, cancelled the show, created a show, cancelled the show, created a show, cancelled the show, and then somehow are teaching people how to podcast because they're a quote-unquote entrepreneur, but all they sell is teaching podcasting. And I'm talking people who have never had a show that's been successful, people who have done 4 or 5 podcasts that have all died after 13, 14 episodes. I see this on Facebook all the time, and it frustrates me because what they're telling people is go and buy this new piece of software that I've been sold and that I'm going to get an affiliate income from. Go and buy this new microphone and then we'll do an interview show. It drives me insane because to podcast, all you need to be able to do is tell a story just like George Lucas, just like Scott Snyder, just like Stephen King. That's all you need to be able to do. But no one is studying this. I talked about it with Jordan Harbinger on one of the previous episodes, and we talked about it again a couple of weeks ago when we met for lunch. It's not difficult, but you're focusing in the wrong place. Now, Wondery just put out a wonderful article, an interview about what it takes for them to create their amazing podcast. And the work that they put in is absolutely off the charts. Now, that's no surprise. They've got budget, they've got time, they've got people. Look at Aaron Mankey, who creates Lore. He has researchers, editors, publishers. But all you have to do if you're an individual solo podcaster is stop buying that next software that's going to absolutely crush your podcasting goals. Stop buying that next piece of tech. You don't need any of it. You don't need coaching. You don't need any of that stuff, all right? What you need is to go and buy a book on how to tell better stories. And I know that sounds contrived. I know it sounds easy, and I know you've got to do marketing. I know you've essentially got to be a salesperson for your podcast. But if the stuff that you're trying to sell is not very good, you ain't ever going to get people to stick around. Isn't it better to sell your show to one listener and then for that listener to go, oh my word, that is amazing, I'm going to share it? Yes, is the answer. That is amazing, all right? So, learn lessons from the past. from the cave paintings, from some of the old literature, the things that have stood the test of time, the Star Wars of the world. Learn from The Godfather. What's going on there? It's a story. It's a tale. It's a hero's journey. Story of redemption. Blah, 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 blah. All right? Go and learn storytelling. There are so many books that you can use to learn this. And I think it's absolutely vital that you do it because you don't need more. Honestly, the amount of support that we get in through Captivate, podcast websites, the Academy, people saying, I need to grow my show. I'm thinking about buying this mic. I'm like, why don't you invest that in some Facebook ads? Why don't you invest that money in going to learn storytelling? Go to an evening class. Go buy a book on it. Please go learn how. Okay? Go and listen and go and investigate Joseph Campbell. Go and listen to and investigate George Lucas. Go and look into what DC do with their storytelling. Stephen King is a masterful, masterful writer. Go and listen to what those guys are doing. Charles Sewell, Kieran Gillen, all those guys that are doing amazing work in various different mediums. Go and check it out, all right? Please just learn to be a better storyteller. And like I said, I know that it's contrived. I know it's like, well, yeah, Mark, that's not very tactical, is it? Oh, I'm not going to grow my show by doing that. Yes, you are. Because if someone hears your show and they're blown away by the story and the way that you've crafted it, they will share it. They will come back. They're not just going to be a dive-in, dive-out listener. They're going to come back, all right? That is what you want. So please, go and study storytelling. And thank you for joining me. I know that was a bit of a rant, but I believe it. I believe in this. I'm passionate about it. So thank you for joining me. Tell your friends, if anyone you know would benefit from this episode, just fire up the sharing icon in the listening app of choice that you're in. Send them a little link. Maybe give them a little text or a WhatsApp or email it to them. Give them a little tweet on the old Twitter-ins. Let them know and give us a little tag if you do that at Mr. Asquith. Just share this episode with them. And go and check out Captivate.fm for your 7-day free trial of the world's only growth-oriented podcast host. And until the next time, thanks for joining me, and never forget, the more you expect from yourself, the more you will excel.